Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Bristol Motor Speedway. We are here to qualify for the 5th race of the season in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. And my oh my, this is going to be a wild qualifying session. Going to be a lot different than what we had last week at Watkins Glen. 5-minute sessions, and then of course the Fast 6. And you know how fast this track is and how quick they get around here. We're going to have some really quick times here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The 5th race of the season, 4 different winners so far this season, with Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Samedeo, Zachary Fitzwater, and Igor Bretto in the order of points right now. Troxel still the points leader by 8 points on the field. And we'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out here in qualifying. This is a very critical qualifying session as well, because it will be very difficult to make passes on Friday night. And with that in mind, you want to be in that Fast 6 and you want to get the pole for this race, because I feel like whoever wins the pole is going to have the best chance at winning the race. Matthew Hubert, first driver to complete a full lap under speed, 15.578. Andrew Williams in the 11 machine is also out there. Emily DeBenedetti, Brian Webb, and these guys are going to be all over the place. Matthew Hubert actually has a bit of an advantage for getting out there when he did, simply due to the fact that he does not have anyone ahead of him right now. And a lot of these other guys who are waiting, they're going to have drivers right ahead of them, and it's going to be very difficult to get things to work. This is also one of those tracks where the lap times are going to get faster as the run goes along, so Hubert's still with that fastest time, 15.36 now. It's Hubert, Andrew Williams, and Brian Webb in the top 3 positions. Of course, top 3 advance onto the Fast 6, and then everyone fourth on back starts in the inside lane in those respective rows. Here in Group A, and then Group B, they start on the outside lane in those respective rows. Fitzwater to the top, or should I say to second, as Hubert continues to rip some really quick laps there in that 52 machine, 15.178. A lot of grip around this track under the lights here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And you're going to see Troxel move up there, but Hubert again improving his time, and this is probably his 6th or 7th lap in this session as well, so definitely a great job out of Matthew Hubert continuing to improve his time, and it looks like he will call it a day right there. How about that for the Durrani Racing driver, who still has the fastest time right now? Fitzwater is still second. Fitzwater's done an excellent job in qualifying so far this season. He's made a couple of Fast 6 shootouts this year, and he has an average starting position 11.75. I believe only Rogeldorn and Blaine Keys have better average starting positions than he does going into this race, so definitely a lot to be proud of there at the Hairgel Motorsports camp with Zachary Fitzwater. They have definitely found some speed. Of course, got the opening win of the season, and Fitzwater had a great run at Watkins Glen last week as well. Just barely missed, I should say, the runner-up position there, the Emily DeBenedetti at the end. He is now third, and guess what? Logan Williams, who has found a lot of speed in qualifying, has just gone the second, and Logan almost won here in the Cup Series. He was one of the guys who was dominating in the Cup Series race. The other guy was Nicholas Samedeo, who just went to second, and I know Nicholas is absolutely thinking about that Bristol Cup race earlier this year, where he was coming to the white flag restart lap, and he blew an engine. Leonard Kochmar's moved up to third there, but it's still Matthew Hubert with the fastest time, and he had the advantage of having that clean racetrack ahead of him there. But Samedeo looking really fast, Kochmar looking really fast as well. As a matter of fact, Kochmar's going to go to second in the 39 machine, just ahead of these guys, and Kochmar's got a clean racetrack in front of him. That's going to bump Logan Williams out of the bubble right there in the 72 machine, and then you also have Nicholas Samedeo as well going to the top of the board. And this 23 looking really quick. This is not a driver you want to start up front of a place like this. Like I said, was very strong here in the Cup Series back in, I think it was April when that race was run. But definitely a great run for him. But Logan Williams has gone to the top of the board. Now Matthew Hubert, who is not out there anymore on the bubble, in the third position. Great time out of Logan Williams there. No surprise to see this. These guys have a fast truck in single car runs. Just will they be able to keep the speed in the race tomorrow night? It looks like they're going to start top 6 regardless. Hubert in the 52 going to get back out there, see if he can defend that time, but I don't think he's going to be able to have enough time to do so. Leonard Koshmer is 4th, Emily De Benedetti 5th, and Eric Monaco has gone to the 2nd position, bumping out Matthew Hubert right there. And this is another driver who has qualified very well as Stapleton with an engine issue. Boy, these guys have not been able to catch many good breaks. 12th quickest right now for Nathan Stapleton. Not exactly the run that he was hoping for. And that does it. I told you this was going to be a quick session. How about that for Eric Monaco right at the end? Didn't even get a chance to catch him there on the screen. He's another driver who has had a lot of great qualifying runs this season. The only downside, he has not been able to show it in the race. As a matter of fact, he wasn't even on my screen when I said this. He actually has the best average starting position of anybody in the field with a 5.75, and it looks like he's going to keep that going here as he is in the Fast 6. So Logan Williams, Eric Monaco, and Nicholas Samadeo, the 3 fastest drivers. Matthew Hubert will start inside row 4. Leonard Koshmer, row 5. Emily De Benedetti, row 6. Brian Webb, row 7. Zachary Fitzwater, row 8. Aaron Abel, row 9. Our points leader, Thomas Troxel, will start inside row 10. Skep Silver will start inside row 11. Nathan Stapleton will start inside row 12. Joe Rutkowski will start inside row 13. Jesse Turner will start inside row 14. Bruno Diacomo will start inside row 15. Andrew Williams will start inside row 16. Laura Shung will start inside row 17. Andrew Miller will start inside row 18. Let's go ahead and get to Group B and see who joins Williams, Monaco, and Samadeo in the Fast 6. And here we go for Group B here at Bristol. Logan Williams, Eric Monaco, and Nicholas Samadeo, the 3 drivers who made it through in Group A to the Fast 6. Who will join them here in Group B? Matthew Burnett going to be the first driver out there. Matthew Hubert almost made it in. He was the first driver out there on the racetrack, had a clean racetrack ahead of him, and it worked to his advantage for the most part. Going to be a good starting position for Hubert in Friday night's race. Of course, qualifying here is on Wednesday. And, you know, even though we're not actually traveling cross-country, we want to be somewhat realistic with these guys qualifying in Bristol and some of these guys racing in tomorrow night's Rockstar. Oh boy, I made that mistake again. It's been a while. Body Armor Pro Series race. That series has had like 4 or 5 different names. Body Armor Pro Series race at Oregon Speedway tomorrow night. So we decided to go ahead and do the qualifying tonight before the Lenovo Pro Series race coming up here in less than an hour. That's going to be a lot of fun at the Bristol Motor Speedway for those guys. Roberto Crown Jr., who started outside pole at Watkins Glen last week. They had a really good run in that one. Where are they? Where is that O1 machine? There we go. Currently with the fastest time here in Group B. But the fastest times that we saw were closing in 15.025 by Logan Williams is the fastest time there. These times get faster and faster as the run goes along here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Ludovic Charette second quickest right now in the 2 machines. She really needs a rebound. 26th in points for our defending Cup champion. Not at all the season that she has hoped for, of course. She got caught up in that wreck when Derek Hamill blew a tire. It was actually a tire that Derek Hamill blew in the moment he was leading the race and got the field all caught up behind him, which gave way to Igor Bredo getting that race victory. There is Igor, who comes into this race 12th in points after getting that win last week at Watkins Glen. It is Matthew Burnett who was the first driver out there. That definitely seems to be the key to getting a good run. And Burnett, this team has not had a good start to the season. Beacon Quantum Racing and Matthew Burnett, Duncan Ward, only one top 10 so far between the 2 drivers, and that was Duncan Ward last week at Watkins Glen. Matthew Burnett's actually last in the point standings coming to this one. And how about Ludovic? Only 1/1000th off of Logan Williams' fastest time right there. Ludovic's been another driver who has had some flashes of brilliance in qualifying. Though she did struggle with qualifying in Atlanta and Daytona, she's actually done pretty well so far this season, and this is absolutely the kind of race you want to start up front. How about the 58 there, Skylar Taylor? Good run for Skylar, who I believe won the Sprint Series race here last year in 2023. She has not gotten a win yet this season on the channel. Still going for it. We'll have to see. She gets a good run. How about Derek Hamill, who absolutely wants to rebound from what happened last week. He had a good run going, and he ended up finishing dead last in that race. That sent him back to 18th in the point standings. Having that tire go down while leading the race at Watkins Glen. You just never know when a mechanical issue like that could happen. And this team, Grattan Autosport, you know, as good as they are as an organization, that is one thing that early on in these seasons they tend to struggle with, is reliability. Of course, the range and the ratings, I think, has changed that a little bit for some of these guys, but still another reliability issue for those guys at Watkins Glen last week, as we got a lot of movement up front. And how about the Velocitar guys? How about the truck that won this race last year? It was driven by Noah Clifton. Now it's Blaine Keys, and, you know, Blaine's a fast driver. And Velocitar's 1-2 right now here in Group B, with Ladovic still having the fastest time. And now Blaine under 15 seconds. Oh my, watch out. Now, the fun thing that we're going to see in these single-car runs is they're only going to get one lap. They're not going to have enough time to really get up to speed for their lap, and they're going to be about a half second off their fastest times here in the group sessions. But it is Blaine Keys and Ladovic Charette, 1-2, and Blaine was actually very strong in this race last year. I know he started up front last year in this event. And I apologize, there's actually the 2 that won the race. Noah Clifton was driving the 2. Blaine was in the 1 last year as well. But Blaine was up front in this race last year. Now you got the 5 machine of Bryce Egan, who just moved his way into the top 3. Just bumped Philip Torres out of that position. So it's the 1, the 2, and the 5 currently holding on to the top 3 positions here. That would be 3 of the Grattan Autosport trucks and a lot of Fords, because Bryce Egan also drives Ford, though that team is not affiliated with Grattan Autosport. Not a good run for... Oh, not a good run for Duncan Ward again. That's a shame for him. LJ Semedo, not a good run for LJ, who is 4th in points. He will be starting 34th in this race tomorrow. And we got ourselves Blaine Keys, Ladovic Charette, Bryce Egan, joining Logan Williams, Eric Monaco, and Nicholas Samanio. We're starting to see a bit of a pattern here with our Fast 6. However, that's Bryce Egan's first Fast 6 of the year. And we'll have to see what Egan will be the first driver out here in just a moment. Philip Torres will be outside row 4. Jack Haas will be outside row 5. Igor Bretta will be outside row 6. Christian Vargas will be outside row 7. Caleb Rose will be outside row 8. Justin Zidell will be outside row 9. Derek Hamill outside row 10. Roberto Crown Jr. outside row 11. Skylar Taylor outside row 12. Matthew Burnett outside row 13. Rogeldorn outside row 14. Corey Case outside row 15. Avery Alford outside row 16. And LJ Semedo outside row 17, with Duncan Ward outside row 18. Let's see who wins the poll. We got Blaine Keys, Ladovic Charette, Bryce Egan, Logan Williams, Eric Monaco, and Nicholas Samadeo going for it here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And here we go. We're ready to go with Bryce Egan starting us off here at Bristol for single car runs for the Fast 6. So all these guys guaranteed a top 6 starting position for Friday night's race in the Rocky Ridge Trucks 250. Here we go for Bryce Egan and Dracoan Racing Enterprises. Easily the biggest surprise of this Fast 6 from what we've seen so far this season. Of course, these first laps, they're going to be considerably slower than the fastest times we saw in the group sessions, minimizing there about 103, and across the line, Bryce Egan goes to a 15-16. Oh boy, 16-137. We're going to see a massive difference here. Not a good lap there out of Bryce Egan, unfortunately. Here we go for Nicholas Samadeo on the 23. This is actually Samadeo's first Fast 6 of the season, even though he does have that race victory from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And it looks like there's a lot more power and speed in this truck than what Bryce Egan had. I don't know, Bryce may have dropped a cylinder or something on his lap. Minimizing 107 right there through 1 and 2. There just seems to be a lot more speed in this truck than what Bryce Egan had. Bryce Egan just had a bad lap right there. Nicholas Samadeo going to be considerably faster right here. 15, I can say that officially this time, 15.650 for Nicholas Samadeo. He goes to the top of the board here in the Fast 6. Third driver in the line, Ladovic Charette, who is very much in need of a good run. You mentioned 26th in points. There's obviously a lot more speed in this truck than what is suggested in the standings right now. Imagine there's going to be a lot of speed in this truck in this run as well for Ladovic. And very quick. That was quicker than San Mateo right there through 1 and 2. See what she does through 3 and 4 right here, and minimizing 108 right there. This is going to go to the top of the board. Ludovic Charette, 15.481. They just keep on getting faster here in this Fast 6 shootout. And here's Eric Monaco in the 28, who does in fact have the best average starting position of any driver so far this season. Even better than Blaine Keys, who is up next. But Monaco has not had the speed in the races to show for it. Let's see what he does here in qualifying. Not too bad, not too shabby, but yeah, a little bit slower than Ludovic right there, and that is to be expected, I feel like. Minimizing about 104. This is probably going to be a little bit slower than San Mateo's time, and Monaco will, in fact, be slower than San Mateo. Third quickest overall, 15.829 for Eric Monaco and TP Motorsports. And here we go for Blaine Keys, who officially was the pole sitter for this race last year, and the driver who actually started alongside him was Eric Monaco. And it was Noah Clifton in the 2 who started third. It could very well be Velocitar 1 and 3 again to start this race. A very quick time for Blaine Keys. I feel like this is going to be close with Ludovic's time right here. 15.481 is what he's got to beat. It's a 15.555, which is good enough for second place, right behind his teammate of Ludovic Charette. One more driver left, it's Logan Williams in the 72. And here's our last driver here in the Fast 6 shootout. It's Logan Williams going for his third pole of the season. And this is only the 5th race of the season. Now, these guys have not had the speed in the races, but this is a race where if you start on the pole position especially, or on the inside lane behind the pole sitter, you're going to have a very good chance at winning this race. Noah Clifton won this race last year from the 3rd starting position. That's currently where Nicholas San Mateo sits, so Nicholas is hoping Logan does not jump him, because that means he's going to fall to 4th, and being stuck on the outside lane to start here at Bristol, not necessarily what you want. So we'll have to see what Logan can do. Regardless of the fact Ludovic Charette has locked up a front row start for this race, but Logan Williams looking to change that here in the 72 machine for Triad Racing. This team has not had the best of runs to start this season off. They were a lot stronger last year than what they've got going this year. Got 1 win last year with Josh Williamson. I think it was 1 win. They may have gotten 2 wins. I can't remember now. I just don't remember. I know Josh won Watkins Glen last year, and Logan has not had the strength this year. Logan won 2 races last year as a driver when he was driving for Evans Ross Racing. This season, a little bit different, at least to start it all off. All right, here we go. We'll be able to tell pretty early if this is a good enough time for Logan to knock off Ludovic from that top position, trying to gain as much speed as he can, coming across the line right here. Going through turns 1 and 2, and 108, 107, 106 ain't going to cut it. So Ludovic Charette, Blaine Keys, they're safe on the front row. The big question is, will Logan be slower than San Mateo? I think he will. 15.652. Oh, man. He was just barely slower than Nicholas San Mateo right there. It'll be 4th for Logan Williams. Ludovic Charette has won the pole for the Rocky Ridge Trucks 250. And that will do it here from Bristol. We got out of here pretty quick now, didn't we? And this is how they will officially line up. Ludovic Charette, Blaine Keys, Team Velocitar locks out the front row here from Bristol. Nicholas San Mateo and Logan Williams will start in row number 2. Eric Monaco and Bryce Egan in row 3. Then it's Matthew Hubert and Philip Torres, Leonard Kochmer and Jack Haas, Emily DeBenedetti and Agar Barreto, Brian Webb and Christian Vargas, Zachary Fitzwater and Caleb Rose, Aaron Abel and Justin Zidell, Thomas Troxel and Derek Camel, Skep Silver and Roberto Crown Jr., Nathan Stapleton and Skylar Taylor, Joe Rutkowski and Matthew Burnett, Jesse Turner and Rogel Dorn, Bruno Diacomo and Corey Case, Andrew Williams and Avery Alford, Laura Chung and LJ Semedo, and Andrew Miller, Duncan Ward round out the last row. Our Body Armor Pro Series commentators did not show up here today. Now did they? We will see you on Friday for the Rocky Ridge Trucks 250 here from Bristol at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time to Tomorrow night, it is the Oregon 100K in the Body Armor Pro Series. And tonight, in less than an hour, we got ourselves the Tractor Supply 200 in the Lenovo Pro Series here from Bristol. Thank you so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Ladovic Strife for winning the poll. And I will see you guys later.